AskReddit by Steven Post. What's the greatest episode of a TV show ever made? Marge v the monorail. I hear those things are awfully loud. What We Do in the Shadows on the Run, the Jackie Daytona episode. That's How We Talk in Tucson, Arizona. The Scrubs episode with Brendan Fraser. I didn't know a 22-minute show could make me cry. Dr. Cox, where do you think we are? Chernobyl Viknaya Pamayat. They mistakenly sent the one good man. For God's sakes, Boris, you were the one who mattered the most. Not the best line of that episode, but definitely in the top. The Inner Light Star Trek TNG. Another from TNG, The Measure of a Man. Who Goes There if True Detective is a serious adrenaline ride. Great episode from a fantastic show. Is that the one where the bikers rob the drug den? Doctor Who Blink. Also the Van Gogh episode. The Snake Juice episode of Parks and Rec. I literally made lifelong friends with someone because of this episode. Back in the day you could just make Facebook pages willy-nilly, and I thought it would be hilarious to friend request someone named Janet Snakehole after this episode aired. Flash forward however many years later and we still talk all the time online and exchange Christmas gifts and stuff. Band of Brothers E9 Why We Fight. I don't think there was a bad episode in the whole show, but that one, it just rips your heart out. Futurama Luck of the Fryish, makes me cry every time. Here lies Philip J. Fry. Named for his uncle, to carry on his spirit. Everyone always mentions Jurassic Park, but I personally think that Luck of the Fryish is slightly better. It's a bit more complex. When I first watched it I didn't see the brother twist coming. It really got me choked up and tearful. Last episode of 6 Feet Under. I get choked up every time I watch Peter Krause set off the absolutely astonishing final sequence by whispering to Lauren Ambrose, "You can't take a picture of this, it's already gone, just perfect." The Simpsons You Only Move Twice. Homer Badman is also very solid. Rewatched it recently and it's just too hilarious throughout. Tales of Ba Sing Se from Avatar The Last Airbender. Specifically Iroh's story. That one and Appa's Lost Days both make me cry to this day, no matter how many times I've seen them. Hell, just hearing the opening notes to Leaves from the Vine will do it. Atla was definitely one of the best cartoons of that era, if not all time, in my opinion. Adventure Time I Remember You. It took far too much scrolling to find this one. A fuck ton of world building and character backstory, some really great songs, and a heart-wrenching story, all in under 10 minutes. Plus it contains my favorite quote from the whole series, "Bad biscuits make the baker broke bro, just pure chef's kiss." Hush from Buffy. Hush and Once More with Feeling are two of the best episodes in the series, even up there as some of the best episodes of all TV. Both buck trends that naysayers said couldn't be done well and they did both well. The Bent Neck Lady episode 5 of The Haunting of Hill House. Can be viewed as a standalone horror film without watching the series. The first episode of that series freaked me out so much. I almost didn't watch the rest of the series because of it lol. In contrast, The Bent Neck Lady just made me sad. The last episode of Severance. Wow, what a ride. Please try to enjoy each episode equally, and not show preference for any over the others. That's 10 points off. You have 90 points remaining. South Park, Make Love Not Warcraft. What do we do now? What do you mean? Now we can finally play the game is an all-time quote. Community S3E4 Remedial Chaos Theory. Even if you don't know it, you'd know the gifs. Edit. Just so you know, Jeff, you are now creating 6 different timelines. Speaking of GIFs, you know there was one time I was on an airplane and GIFed Earthakit. Scrubs S3E14. Where do you think we are? Edit. I know some of you are getting misty here. Sorry. My lunch hit me fucking hard. Esp when How to Save a Life starts playing. Cox's raw emotion and pain in that scene gets me every time. Might just be my nostalgia for my childhood, but that one episode of SpongeBob where Squidward directs the band at the Super Bowl is probably SpongeBob's best episode. Band Geeks or something? Those first 4 seasons of SpongeBob have like 10 potential best episodes, but Band Geeks is certainly one of them. Star Trek Deep Space Nine, In the Pale Moonlight. Garak is just perfect in that episode. The final episode of The Good Place is remarkable. I can't even think about it with all the feelings coming up. The whole show is amazing and should be watched by everyone. Maybe even better than the last episode of the show is the last episode of the first season, with its big reveal. It sets up the thesis for the show itself, and teaches the first of the show's most valuable and defining lessons. Pine Barrens from Sopranos. He killed 16 Czechoslovakians. Guy was an interior decorator. His house looked like shit. Mr. Robot S4E07 proxy authentication required. Tiny set, minimal number of characters, structured like a stage play and one of the most emotionally intense things I've ever watched. 407 is rated at 9.9 on IMDb and is the highest rated episode of the series, for very obvious reasons lol. 405 is my personal favorite. Telling a great story with only 2 lines, bookending the episode is great stuff and I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. But man, season 4 as a whole is just so good. Charlie Work It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Charlie Work is fantastic. I would put Flowers for Charlie up there with it. Pretty much any episode with a lot of Charlie is great. MASH, goodbye, farewell and amen. Man, I can count on the fingers of one hand all of the very special episodes of any comedy series that aren't trash, but this one, right here, the series finale, will suck the air right out of your lungs at least twice and every shock in it is entirely earned. Definitely one of the most impactful episodes in that show. The one that really sticks with me is Period of Adjustment. It's the episode after Radar leaves and everyone trying to adjust to him being gone. BJ's breakdown at the end, how he has been gone for his daughter's entire life, how Radar got to see her before he did. It makes my eyes water just thinking about it. The workouting the IT crowd is probably some of the most clever and funny writing I've ever seen in a TV show. That part where she turns around and Moss is behind the bar is incredible. Parks and Rec The Comeback Kid. Damn near every line is a joke that hits and all characters are not only at the top of their game, but have a chance to shine. Plus, it birthed maybe the greatest outtake of all time. Takes place in a point where the show was in full stride. It's the episode I recommend to get people into the show. Get on your feet. Ozymandias, Breaking Bad. I was stunned by it. So many Breaking Bad episodes to choose from. Personally, I thought Face Off was pretty fucking great. The Wire, The Cost. I've seen that episode so many times and it's still adrenaline inducing. Amazing episode. My favorite one is Middle Ground S3E11. It seems like I can't do nothing to change your minds. Well, get on with it, Mothurf. Unforgettable. Who Shot Mr. Burns? Both of them. Blackadder Goes Forth episode 6. Not all that good Blackadder, rather hoped I'd get through the whole show, go back to work at Pratt & Sons, Keep Wicket for the Croydon gentleman. Marry Doris. Made a note in diary on the way here. Simply says bugger for a character we're not meant to like. Tom McInnery completely sells the futility of the First World War in that moment. Devastating stuff. Atlanta Teddy Perkins. Bojack Horseman. The View from Halfway Down. 3 episodes do it for me. The View from Halfway Down, Free Churro, and Time's Arrow. I can't decide which one is best. The first paintball episode in Community. Also the 6 parallel universes one. Masterpiece. The Gift, season 5 finale, on Buffy still holds a special place in my heart. It was filled with scenes of closure and characters pushing just outside the boundaries you'd seen them in. You had Giles' dark literal murder for the greater good, Willow recovering Tara, Spike's I know you'll never love me speech, and the closing scene on a tombstone with an inscription that would be cheesy if they hadn't built up a serious tone the whole episode. She saved the world, a lot. I could be looking back at it through rose-colored glasses, but for me, it's my greatest episode of TV ever made. Barry S2E5, Ronnie Lilly. Scrubs Season 3, Episode 14 My Screw Up. Similarly, my fallen idol from Scrubs. Perry is inconsolable because he feels he let a bunch of patients die. Nothing is working, except for the end where JD tells him that he's just so proud of him for how hard he's taking it, because after so many years of being a doctor, he is still this upset when things go wrong. I Love Lucy. The Chocolate Assembly Line episode. I didn't see it listed. That one and a Vitamita Vegemin commercial kill me to this day. West Wing, December 1999, in Excelsis Dio. The one where Toby finagles a military funeral for a homeless war veteran. Yeah. That and To Cathedrals. Fucking excellent. That episode of Parks and Amp Rec where they have to get people to stop wrapping their mouth around the water fountains. WKRP in Cincinnati. The Turkey Drop. Turkeys Away, Season 1 Ep 7, aired the 30th of October, 1978. As God is my witness, I thought turkeys could fly. The swearing episode from SpongeBob. Doctor Who Blink. I feel that sometimes Midnight, Season 4, Episode 8, gets overlooked. Such an incredible episode. It's 12 Angry Men in Space. Clyde Brookman's Final Repose, The X-Files. Speed 3 Father Ted. I think when they go on holiday and Graham Norton's character Father Noel turns up is my fav. Battlestar Galactica, Exodus. The scene when the ship jumps into the atmosphere was edge of seat stuff. https://yahoo.be/ismzkurcajm. I'm also fond of BSG 33. If you come in from the introductory miniseries, it frames the colonies in such a deep, desperate condition and explains the fatigue and frustration. These people had been at war for mere hours when they realized their best efforts to flee were being easily tracked by robots who didn't need to eat or sleep or even survive. At any time, something as simple as a blown fuse or someone stuck in the bathroom could be game over.